Radio on Berlin.
Hey, here we are at the Neue Nationalgalerie here in Berlin on the 16th of April 2023, yeah. And here I am with Mustafa, and he got us in with the tickets. Yeah, he had the last tickets. Mustafa.
I'm gonna pretend that we could see, as if we could see her and we could hear her, but
exactly. There's about 1 million people here, so and
probably a billion.
Although Mustafa has got on stage before with David Hasselhoff, I must say, so maybe we can do it.
He was just singing towards me 1 meter away.
Exactly.
I like seeing celebrities.
Fantastic. So, what's your first memory of Patti Smith then in your life, Mustafa?
In my life, I think Gloria. That nasty song.
From Horses. Yeah, that was the first one I heard as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Could we just do a little interview with you over, it's for Radio on Berlin. Well, seeing as we're here for Patti Smith, maybe we can talk a little bit about your first memories of Patti Smith in your life.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, we used to be punk and anarchist, so
Great.
She was like goddess.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It will be the first time I'll be in the same environment with her.
Fantastic.
Gonna be able to see her.
Oh, Mustafa's disappearing. Look, he's probably trying to get on stage. Do you know your first memories of Patti Smith in your life? I'm asking.
Yeah. I listened to a song and I think, who is she? Then I started to listen, and I have a poster with Patti Smith is sitting down on a wall, and there's an A behind her.
Oh yeah, is that from Ethiopia?
Yeah.
The album Ethiopia, I believe.
It was for many years. It was on my wall, and it's my love.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. So as I say, there's about 1 million people here, and you're listening to Radio on Berlin. Oh, people are clapping. It's possible she might be coming, just trying to jostle around here. I guess we'll see her beautiful grey hair now. When I was a kid, she had sort of really black, sort of striking hair. And as I say, the first album that I had was Horses by Patti Smith. And I had no idea who Patti was, or David Bowie. And I discovered them both at the same time at the... because my dad let me go to the record shop and choose 2 records. So I chose them based on what they looked like. So the first one was Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, and the second one was Patti Smith and Horses, of course. And I thought I was the only one that knew them. But apparently there's a lot more, because there's a lot more people here than I imagined. Although there is a mirror in the gallery, so it looks like it's actually bigger than it really is. But I'd say there's about 1,000, I guess. So, there's someone organising some chains up there. So I wonder if Patti Smith will be lowered in from the into the centre of the crowd on a big cradle. Fantastic entrance. Anyway, we shall return.
Gördün beyaz kafa. Hadi ya. Şurada bak. Şurada.
O beyaz kafalı Patti Smith değil ama.
Yok, öbür taraftaki.
First of all, thank you so much for coming. One of the goals of this building is that it's a museum for all. I think it's happening today. It's really full, thank you. For nearly a decade, we celebrated Jean Genet's birthday, December 19th, and we started in 2010. Exactly, it's his 100th birthday. So today, 2023, Berlin. Today, it's poems dedicated to artists. And this Mies Hall, this building, what I learned in my little bit over a year, is a building that artists fall in love with. It really is. And I couldn't be more honored and grateful to one of the greatest artists I have met in my life here tonight.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here. It was really sort of a last-minute decision because I had a day off in Berlin, and knowing Klaus, when he knows I have a day off, it's a good day to work. So I'm very happy to be here. Just a couple of announcements. One, for all those celebrating Orthodox Easter, Happy Easter. And the other is, I see that there are children of many ages here. I am a mother, I have 3 children who are grown, but and in any event, if there's any problems, if they get bored, they're tired, you need to get up, you need to, the children's well-being comes first. So don't worry if they start crying, everything will be fine. I just, so as you know, I've known Klaus now for some time. He has always been, he's a very hard worker, very visionary and precise sometimes, but he also has a revolutionary heart. He likes to do things, reach out for the people. He is really, so today is a real expression of his vision of things, to gather everyone together without any, real taxation upon you, just invite you to come. And I'm so happy to see such a diverse crowd. And I will tell you one little thing. This wondrous piece of work behind me, please be careful and beware, because if you're like I have bad depth perception and nearly walked into it 2 times, but it's also hypnotizing. There's something that makes you like a Cocteau movie. You feel like it's the Orphic mirror and you can walk right through it. But trust me, you can't. So where was I starting? I'll try to be a little organized, which actually for me is virtually impossible, but see where I wanted to start. Okay. So I want to thank Cecilia at the museum for getting this guitar for me. It's not my guitar. I'm not a very good guitar player, but I thought it would still be nice to do a couple songs. So she got me this very nice guitar to play with. So I'm going to do a lot of poetry, but I thought, a nice song that, start everything off nice. And this song is called Grateful, and I am grateful. I'm grateful to Klaus, grateful to Cecilia, grateful to all the people in the museum today working on our behalf, and to all of you for taking your Sunday to spend with us. And so a little song called Grateful. That's my backup vocal. Sorry. just another skin, simply slips away. You can rise above it, it will shed easily, and I will come and find I've learned it line by line. One current wire, one silver thread, all that you desire rolls on ahead. Like a ship in a bottle, held up to the sun. Sails ain't going nowhere. You can count everyone until it crashes into the earth. Simply slips away. You can hide in the open. I just disappear, and all will come and find I learned it line by line. One current wire, one silver thread. Oh, you know what? You can't sit there and shoot me there. I asked you not to do that. It's too distracting. Like, sit over there or sit. Sorry. It's really, it's just, I'm not, sorry. Sorry. I didn't know we were shooting a documentary, so. I'm so grateful that I stopped the song. No, I'm sorry, it's just, I just got distracted. But, you know, that happens in life, you know, we're trying to do our work and we get distracted and we have to start over. And you know what Bob Dylan would say? Take two. Where was I? Ours is just a craving and a twist of the wrist. Can undo the stopper with a abrupt tenderness. Die, little sparrow, and away singing, and all will come and find I've learned it line by line. One common wire, one silver thread, all that you desire rolls on ahead. What a mess. No. What the 70s were like, it's like this. No, I have a different style of guitar. I have a much smaller neck, so I'm not familiar. I'm not a real guitar player. I just play one on TV, so. Anyway, maybe what I'll do is a little later, I'll finish the song, and then we'll have sort of a, a closure. That would be a good thing. So as Claude said, I've chosen poems that I've written in honor of many of our artists, poets, and musicians. Throughout my life, I really first saw art in person at 12 at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and I was completely smitten by Picasso and decided I wanted to be an artist. And in my life, I've taken many paths, but I'm very grateful to all the different artists, poets, and musicians that led me to the path I'm on. And what path am I on? Disaster. If you don't have a sense of humor, it's over. The first poem I'm going to read is called Why, like the letter Y. And I wrote this poem in 1978 for Robert Mapplethorpe. He was doing, come on, man. Just how many pictures you need? I'm like 76. I'm on paper. I'm dragging looking. You've taken those good pictures. I'm sorry, but people take millions of pictures of me and then I see them online. I look terrible in 98% of them. But anyway, I'm just a cranky old fraud. Okay, I wrote Why for Robert. Robert was doing a book of flowers, and he was doing two books. One was called X, which was X-rated pictures, and one was called Y, which was flowers. And I wanted to write a poem for the X-rated pictures, but he wanted me to write the poem for the flowers, which I did. Why is the covenant between the artist and the creator? Why is Yahweh the name, the hands that rearrange? Why is the palm, the rod, the river, a system of law that shall not be mastered? Why is the Trinity, the body, the shaft, the shadow cast? Why is the way of youth, the piss of sentinels, the forgotten vow? Why is still life, the last shot before death, a floating gardenia, a storm under glass, a motion of tulips, the hybrid, the source? Why is the exhausted, the inexhaustible force? This is called Notebook. I wrote this in 1970, and I was pacing around my workspace, and oops, sorry. But I hope they got that on camera. It's called Notebook. I keep trying to figure out what it means to be American. When I look at myself, I feel like maybe from Arabia, or Venus, or 19th century France, but I can't recognize what makes me American. I think about Robert Frank's photographs, broke down jukeboxes in Gallup, New Mexico, swaying hips and spurs, ponytails and syphilitic cowpokes. I think about a red, white, and blue rag I wrap around my pillow. Maybe it's nothing material. Maybe it's just being free. Freedom is a waterfall, is pacing linoleum till dawn, is the right to write the wrong words, and I've done plenty of that. I wrote that in 1970 and never imagined that in the 90s I would meet the great photographer. And we did a music video with him called Summer Cannibals. And it was sort of turned down by MTV. They didn't really like it. It wasn't right for them. And I thought that was great. Robert Frank was not right for them, so it just goes to show. I don't know what it goes to show, but it showed something. This is another poem for a photographer. This is for Diane Arbus. I used to see Diane Arbus when I was young, when I lived at the Chelsea Hotel. And she was only about this tall, but she was really intimidating. Like, you didn't talk to her. You didn't talk to her, bother her. She always had her camera, and she always had her eyes wide open, and you got out of her way. She was awesome. She lay in the stream, dreaming of August Sander. You, I write, beloved black ace Ophelia, extravagantly pierced, dread pale moon. Negatives inflame your immutable eye. Hands, face, feathers soaked in love. Cast your pearls, pen the pink fat night. Comb ashes from the garden asylum. The light, white cliff of ambition shedding. Shoot, baby, shoot. Powers can alter. Her human cathedral hung with tassels of hair threaded with golden string, and she sang as she slid, dangerously alive, through long arms of trailing algae. I have collected children. I have felt the museum. I have fled the mountain, viewed with suspicion memories, snowing, the white cliff of ambition, in those soft trine. She unfastened the strings and fruit erupted. The flayed mule became one with her. They lay uncorrupted in the deep grass, pecked palm to palm by ebullient fowl. You are my summer night, she whispered. The spokes of the wheel bear witness. A barren heart is a heart that does not choose. Beloved, come down, fluid, like naked convinced. A heart has stopped floating, orchid child. Horns of angel turned to virulent dust. Being to feel found shelter in fire. The first roar and blood brown, crisscrossing the kingdom of a wrist. I know it's sometimes hard to figure out what you're supposed to do after a poem's over. Like, people are supposed to clap here. I didn't really understand that poem, what was that about? But it's whatever you want to do. I'm just glad that you're all here. It's awesome. I said, it was just, wasn't much about it. Do you think anyone will come? I always think that. You can play Madison Square Garden, I'm always saying, do you think anybody will come? Anyway, thank you for coming. So another artist, I would call him an artist, that was a great influence on me, especially when I was young, was Bob Dylan. And in 1971, I was living in the Chelsea Hotel. It was 1972 with Sam Shephard, and he was an awesome boyfriend. But so one morning, Sam and I woke up, and we both dreamed of Bob Dylan, and I wrote a little song or a little poem about my dream. So I wrote it, and then sometimes I would read it, and one time I was walking down the street in the village, And the poem is called Dog Dream. And I'm walking and I see this guy coming toward me, and it was Bob Dylan. And I thought, and he said, "Hey, Patty." I said, "Yes." And he said, "What's this dog dream about?" I said, "I don't know, Bob, it was just a dream." Have you seen Dylan's dog? It got wings, it can fly. When you speak of him, speak of it to him. It's the only time Dylan can't look you in the eye. Have you held Dylan's snake? It rattles like a toy. It sleeps in the grass. It coils in his hand. It hums and it strikes out when Dylan cries out. When Dylan cries out, have you pressed to your face Dylan's bird? Dylan's bird. It lies on Dylan's hip. It trembles inside of him. It drops upon the ground. It rolls with Dylan round. It's the only one who comes when Dylan comes. I don't know, Bob. It's just keep reading. Have you seen Dylan's dog? It got wings, it can fly. When it lands like a clown, he's the only thing allowed to look Dylan in the eye. I was wondering who the hell that was. Another photographer. Okay. What do we got? In, I think it was in the early 70s, I wrote this poem for George O'Keeffe. And of course, here we go. I wrote it, it disappeared, sorry. George, don't give me a hard time. So I wrote this poem, and Henry Geltzeller was the head of the Metropolitan Museum of Art at the time, and he was going to visit her. And I gave him my poem, and he gave it to Georgia, and she read it, and she said, "That's about right." That was a great compliment, so thinking of her. George O'Keeffe, great lady painter. What's she do now? She goes out with a stick and kills snakes. George O'Keeffe, all life still. Cow skull, bull skull, no bullshit. Pyrite, she's no fool. Started out pretty girl. George O'Keeffe, until she had her fill, painted desert, flower, cactus, hawk and head mule, coral, watercolor, red coral reef, been around forever. Georgia O'Keeffe, great lady painter. What'd she do now? Go and beat the desert, stir dust bowl. Go and beat the desert, snake skin skull. Go and beat the desert, all life still. And as I had said earlier, I discovered Picasso when I was 12 years old, and loved his work throughout my life. And then early 70s. It was around 1973. And I was thinking, people would say then, because he was quite old, and people would say, well, is he dead or alive? Is Picasso still around? And yeah, it was some people didn't know. And then I got this idea, what if no one ever told when he died? So then, 100 years would go by and people go, is Picasso still around? And anyway, in the spring of '74, he died. Or '73, sorry. Picasso laughing. Notebook. Divine love is so invisible. Notebook. November 1, All Souls Day. Rimbaud, go to hell. Picasso, knows. Hell, he really fucking knows. Where can he go now? Notebook, Picasso hoaxed. Don't nobody tell when he dies. Continue, let time continue and move like a myth, till somebody suddenly rings a bell, says over a dinner party, why, Picasso? He's been here over a century, or better yet, 2 centuries. Diary, Sunday, April 8, 1973. Picasso dies. April is the cruelest month, etc. What remains? Brian Jones' bones, Jim Morrison's friend, Jimi Hendrix bandana sweatband angel, the starched collar of Baudelaire, the sculptured cap of Voltaire, the crusader's helmet like a temple itself, Carol Lombard's hand mirror, Brancusi, bird brain, the prodigal kiss, Judy's garland, Rimbaud's valise, Rothko's overcoat, surreal space, the black knit dress of Piaf, photographs, Picasso laughing, Picasso dancing, Picasso do the fishback, Picasso do the Cadillac, a heartbreak, a brushstroke, the light streaming the window of the villa, sun rising and setting and sleeping on clean white shirts all folded, and Picasso's boat neck shirt. When Robert Mapplethorpe died of complications from AIDS in 1989, I was looking at a lot of his work and so many portraits that he took of friends and loved ones and all kinds of artists and dancers, painters and poets and musicians. And I thought of how he really sang of all these people through his work. And I wrote this poem, and it's called Reflecting Robert. Blessedness is within us all. It lies upon the long scaffold, patrols the vaporous hall. In our pursuits, though still, we venture forth, hoping to grasp a handful of cloud and return unscathed, cloud in hand. We encounter space, fist, violin, or this, an immaculate face of a boy, somewhat wild, smiling in sun. He raises his hand as if in carefree salute, shading eyes that contain the thread of God. Soon they will gather power, disenchantment. They will reflect enlightenment, agony. They will reveal the process of love and art. They will, in an hour alone, shed tears. He sounds the dizzying extremes, the relativity of vain, the hip of unrest. For the sake of wing, there is shoulder. for symmetry, there is blade. He kneels, he is humiliated, he pierces his side. He offers a spleen to the wolves of the forest. He races across the tiles the human board. Virility, coquetry, all a game well played. Immersed in luminous disgrace, he lifts as a slave, a nymph, a fabulous hood. As a rose, a thief of life, he will parade nude, crowned with leaves, immortal. He will sing of the body. He will sing of the body his truth. He will increase the shining neck. He will pluck airs toward our delight of the waning, the blossoming, the violent charade. But who will sing of him? Who will sing of his blessedness? The blameless eye, the radiant grin, for he, his own messenger, is gone. He is leapt through the Orphic glass to wander eternally in search of perfection, his blue ankles tattooed with stars. So this little song, I always think in the singing of it, and when I wrote it, of the departed. And it's just a little moment for us all to think, of those we have lost, those dear to us, whether it's a loved one, someone we believe in, a friend, a beloved animal, because we the living harbor the memories of the departed. We keep them alive. They walk with us. So this song is not about death. It's about life. It's about life and remembrance. rise, amazed to stumble where gods get lost beneath the Southern Cross. Amazed to stumble where gods get lost beneath the Southern Cross. Well, you know, we girls know how to play hard to get. Thank you for the love. We all need it. I mean, the museum, it says right out there, the word of love is massive, right? Okay. Yeah, I think that, you know, I should explain so you just don't think that I'm a grouchy person or anything, but I'm really here. Klaus has brought us together in a sort of, we're all in a, it's a very, there's a sense of democracy in here, a sense of equality, and that means that I am as much a human being as everyone else. And I think, you know what, I'm only here for you. I'm only here for all of you, and that is my concentration. And it's difficult for me to concentrate on all of you when I have people laying on the floor with giant cameras and movie film and taking without asking me. It's just, I don't care who the fuck they are or anything. It's just, we're all human beings and we all want to be treated simply. We're just simply together, serving each other. And I don't want to be treated like that. So I'm sorry that I was mean to people, but, you know, I just can't. I'm not an actress, you know, I'm not shooting something. I'm just here for all of you. So if I got agitated and thrown off a little, it's just because I'm human. We're all the same. We're all like good at some stuff and not at others, and we're all here to be together. So anyway, a good. So my late husband, Fred Sonic Smith, and I wrote a song that I can't play because it's too complicated, but I did write the lyrics, and so I can recite them to you. I was dreaming in my dreaming of an aspect bright and fair, and my sleeping, it was broken, but my dream, it lingered near, in the form of shining valleys where the pure air rarefied and my senses newly opened, and I awakened to the cry that the people have the power to redeem the work of fools. Upon the meek, the graces shower. It's decreed, the people rule. And vengeance had its aspects, and lying low as if to hear, and the armies ceased advancing because the people had their ear, and the shepherds and the soldiers lay beneath the stars exchanging visions, lay in arms to waste in the dust. For the people have the power. The people have the power. And where there were deserts, I saw fountains, and like cream the waters rise, and we strolled there together, with none to laugh nor criticize. And the leopard and the lamb lay together, truly bound. I was hoping in my hoping to recall what I had found. I was dreaming in my dreaming. God knows a purer view. And as I surrender into my sleeping, I commit my dream to you. That the people have the power to redeem the work of fools. Upon the meek the graces shower. It's decreed, the people rule. And I believe everything we dream can come to pass through our union. We can turn the world around. We can turn the earth's revolution. Because the people have the power. The people have the power. The people have the power. Thank you. In 1975, I did a record called Horses, and the last piece on it was called Land, which was built on the Chris Kenner song, Land of a Thousand Dances. But the original idea came much earlier from a poem that I wrote in probably 72 or 73, which was also called Land. The feel of horses, long before horses enter the scene. The boy was in the hallway, drinking a glass of tea. From the other end of the hallway, a rhythm was generating, a process of rude investigation. The hard glare stretched. He set down his glass. Growth too is rude. The high grass, indigo leaves. He lit a fag, surveyed the terrain. The red air split, his nostrils twitched, his throat, filling with the phlegm of awareness, tightened over the sounds of his despair like a net over prey. Wings fluttered against his cord, and his enormous eyes rolled back. The leaves rearranged, exposing his mission, clear as a wavy bend. And the music. The boy is Johnny, has always been Johnny. Johnny Bongo, Johnny Cloud, Johnny Guitar, Johnny O'Clock. Time is falling. He straps his boots and seizes his bag. He is Johnny Appleseed, subliminal landscape painter. He is the brush, the mouthpiece. He is gyrating on the edge of indifference, spinning off the cliff, seducing holy fists, pressing the lever of the lost. And who is found? He checks the glass, a sultry image who has shaped his fragile throat with buttered hair and greased gestures. He buckles his cup-lit hands pocket full of seed. He is his own steed, ready to go, man, go. And he knows how to pony as he dives into a triptych of sweat dedicated to nothing but the cultivation of a land of 1,000 dances. This poem is called The Geometry Linked Ruin Unimaginable. And I wrote this poem in Spain at the Sofia Museum. I was sitting looking at the painting Guernica. I first saw Guernica when I was a teenager. It used to be in New York City at the MoMA, and I used to go see it all the time and contemplate it. It was really, to me, all the terrible aspects of the so-called art of war. And when Franco died, the painting was sent back to Spain. And I was looking at it, and I was especially no longer 20, no longer a teenager, but at that time of my life, sitting there thinking of my children, all three of them, and looking at the mother in the painting who's holding her dead child. And I wrote this poem. She clawed through the rubble of her world, her head covered, a scrupulous maid searching for gems, a necklace mislaid by her mistress on a marble floor of a ballroom set against the battered sky. She crawled with her limp babe, her babe limp as a doll, in a floral dress, fleeing hell straight into the light of her ancestors. She crawled through arches suspended, wrapped her babe in the shawl she had worn to market, no more than a scar on the face of the hill. Hair ribbons fluttered, girders, blood, silk, oozing the wounded sky, shot with holes, foxes scuttling, crackled wires, patches of honey-colored coats shivering, down mixed with bits of calico and flesh. She crawled, a flesh board, a chessboard, a cage of gold, scaffolding. She crawled with her face oblique, placed her babe before the altar of the art of war. She picked through the remains of the vast countryside, a cockeyed dressmaker, piecing a pattern worn awry. Through the rubble she crawled with one shoe, the other foot gone, a trail sticky and warm. She crept into the belly of a fallen horse, drawing its life into her mouth, covering her little dead doll with kisses. She knelt, entreating her God, an immense crucifix, swathed in telegraph wire that spun like a bottle in the center of a circle. She made a sign over her breast and stuffed her mouth with biscuits. Body of Christ, body of Christ. Horses wept, jewels the size of fists, swept by scholars with a mind to twist, and level facets of each plane to be raffled when the bombing ceased. Before the art of war she laid her babe to be raffled with the heart of the artist, bulldozed, crucified, then raised again, to house an outstretched arm, hoof and thigh, reins that ran scarlet, streaming the horse's knotted mane, dripping blood from the wounds of Christ, dripping blood from the wounds of Spain, black and white blood dripping. The ghost of her little girl, prancing in her rag dress through walls of glass, the unspeakable The hairs on the artist's forearms bristled with a sense of the child pressing in like a dosed handkerchief. He picked up a stick and covered fresh sheets, dripping the hardened horn, dripping the indignant ring, slaughter, flower, dead child, hoof, capacious eye, lighting the halls of the Spanish pavilion, lighting the halls of the Spanish pavilion. He bore down on the stick to the canvas, spent, and on the seventh day, he wept. So I wrote that poem imagining the artist painting Guernica and the things that were going through his mind. And this is a song about the artist's process, the writer's process, the musician's process, the gardener's process, any elevator process, the mother's process, the baker's process, all of our labors. And I think my guitar, is there a musician in the audience that can tune a guitar from here? Seriously? Okay, well then you can? Come on over. I mean, please. Listen, I don't have a tuning guitar, so you can't do worse than me. So while he's tuning it, I'm going to do this song, and it's called My Blakean Year. And I wrote it thinking of, at a time when I wrote it, I was having a difficult time, and I felt unappreciated, or, I was having my own troubles. And then I thought of artists like Van Gogh or William Blake. They were people in their lifetime who were unappreciated. And William Blake gave us so much. He gave us paintings and printing and poems and songs. He was an activist. He fought for women's rights and children's rights. But in his own lifetime, because he was sort of behind the times in terms of the Industrial Revolution, he had no success in his life and died in poverty, and was almost forgotten. And you know who rescued William Blake from obscurity? W.B. Yeats, one of our great poets, found his work, could not believe that no one cared about it, and had it all published. All of his writings, his art, his poems. And I think that's really beautiful when one artist resurrects another. So, all done? Oh my gosh, his name is Frederick. I was going to say that my husband Frederick tried to teach me how to tune a guitar, but that's amazing. Fred to the rescue. Thank you, Frederick. Thank you. Isn't that great? In my Blakean year, I was so disposed toward a mission yet unclear. the simple code. When road was paved in gold. When road was just a road. Am I blinking? Yeah. Such a woeful schism. Pain in our existence is not as I envisioned. Boots that tramp from track to track, worn down to the soul. When road was paved in gold. When road was just a road. Am I blinking? Yeah. Temptation, yes. Just a shallow spear. Road and cowardice. Brace yourself for bitter flack, for a life divine. A labyrinth of riches never shall unwind. The tears that bind the pilgrim sack, that stitched into the blinking back. So throw out your stupid cloak, embrace all that you fear. As joy will conquer all despair. In my blinking year. So throw out your stupid cloak, embrace all that you fear. As joy will conquer all despair. In my blinking year. In my blinking year. In my blinking year. Because the guitar was in tune. But so our afternoon is almost finished, but I'd like to read one more thing and maybe one little song. And again, thank you, Klaus, and thank you all for coming. And you know, with all the little ups and downs and things, it's just, that's life, right? It would be, if we had like a perfect scenario here, how boring would that be? So, a few days before Robert Mapplethorpe passed away, I wrote him this letter. But he never got a chance to read it, so I will read it to you. Dear Robert, often as I lie awake, I wonder if you are also lying awake. Are you in pain or feeling alone? You drew me from the darkest period of my young life, sharing with me the sacred mystery of what it is to be an artist. I learned to see through you and never compose a line or draw a curve that does not come from the knowledge I derived in our precious time together. Your work, coming from a fluid source, can be traced to the naked song of your youth. You spoke then of holding hands with God. Remember, through everything, you have always held that hand. Grip it hard, Robert, and don't let go. The other afternoon, when you fell asleep on my shoulder, I drifted off too. But before I did, it occurred to me, looking around at all of your things and your work, and going through years of your work in my mind, that of all your work, you are still your most beautiful, the most beautiful work of all. It snowed Christmas night. Robert and I walked to Times Square to see the white billboard proclaiming, "War is over, if you want it. Happy Christmas from John and Yoko." It hung above the bookstall where Robert bought most of his men's magazines. Looking up, we were struck by the ingenuous humanity of this New York City tableau. Robert took my hand, and as the snow swirled around us, I glanced at his face. He narrowed his eyes and nodded in affirmation, impressed to see artists take on 42nd Street. For me, it was the message. For Robert, the medium. We walked back to our place on 23rd Street. We looked out the window and the snow was falling above the fluorescent oasis sign with its squiggly palm tree. "Look," he said, "it's snowing in the desert." I thought about a scene in Howard Hawks' movie Scarface, where Paul Muni and his girl are looking out the window at a neon sign that said, "The world is yours." Robert squeezed my hand. It was 1969. The 60s were coming to an end. Robert and I celebrated our birthdays. Robert turned 23, then I turned 23, the perfect prime number. Robert made me a tie rack with the image of the Virgin Mary. I gave him 7 silver skulls on a length of leather. He wore the skulls, I wore a tie. We felt ready for the 70s. "It's our decade," he said. I thought it would be nice to end with a little song from that decade. And I'm just going to sing it a cappella because I can't play it unless Frederick knows the chords. But you can help me. You can help me sing it if you want. And really, this has been so great. I'm just, I'm really so happy. So thank you all. So, this song is a collaboration. I wrote the verses for my Frederick. Take me now, oh baby, here as I am. Pull me close, try and understand. Desire is hunger, is the fire I breathe. Love is a banquet on which we feed. Come on now, try and understand the way I feel under your command. Take me now as the sun descends. They can hurt you now, can hurt you now, can hurt you now. Wow, 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 wow. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs night belongs to us. Have I doubt when I'm alone? Love is a ring, the telephone. Love is an angel disguised as lust. Here in our bed until the morning comes. So come on now, try and understand the way I feel under your command. Take my hand, come under cover. They can't hurt you now, can't hurt you now, can't hurt you now. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us. Now here's the part where Lenny Kaye plays the solo, and everybody's getting happy, and everybody's excited, and then I come back to the mic. We're filled with doubt. The vicious circle turns and burns. Without you, what can I live? Forgive the yearning, burning unbelief. It's time to feel, and touch me now, touch me now, touch me now. Hey! Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us. Because we believe in the night we're lovers. Because we believe in the night we trust. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to love.
So that was Patti Smith at the Neue Nationalgalerie here in Berlin on the 16th of April 2023. Wow, that was amazing. Just like I remembered her all those years ago. Still fresh and energetic and inspiring. So let's go and interview some people now. Security guards all over the place. Hi, can I ask you a question? Just one question. Radio 1 Berlin here, and how was it for you?
Incredible. I cried my eyes out.
Me too.
Was amazing.
Yeah, amazing. I saw her many years ago, and I was just so impressed. It's so inspiring, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
After all these years, she's still got this kind of what a beautiful soul. Yeah, thank you very much.
Out of this world. I still can't believe we lived through this experience, right?
No, pretty amazing.
So much. We heard it from you.
Yeah, and I heard it from Renus from Radio 1 Berlin. Yes. So Mustafa, how was it for you?
Oh my God, I'm gonna die, I guess. Thank you for letting us, really. Oh,
thank you for getting the very last ticket.
I'm sorry, yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
We got last 5 tickets, really, last 5 tickets.
Amazing.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Okay, so we're going out of the National Gallery now, and as I say, Patti Smith reading her poetry and playing the guitar as well.
You have been listening to
Radio on Berlin. Yeah.